Hi everyone, so today I want to give you a little update on things. I don't think I've spoken yet in this video. I was going to post this as my Saturday video this week, but it's still my Saturday video, but I'm going to be posting it on either Sunday night or Monday because I really want to get some more festive things in the video because I don't think it's like festive enough. I think it's pretty festive, but I think we could amp it up a little bit. So I think I'm going to include some clips from tonight and then also whatever I can get tomorrow as well, because we're going to go Christmas shopping. Every single year we go kind of last minute Christmas shopping. Not things that we need, but like things that are just kind of fun. We just have a festive day, like inner city shopping, getting anything we see that could be fun to add to people's gifts, and also, you know, just spending like a day as a family because everyone's home. So yeah, I'm going to include some clips from that. So today's video will be coming later than I would have liked it to be, but that's okay. I still want to get this up like before Christmas, obviously, because I want this to be like something really fun and festive for you to watch before the actual day of Christmas. As soon as Christmas hits, nobody cares about Christmas content, which is completely fair enough. But yeah, I wanted to give you my thoughts on Spectacular because I did finish this a couple of days ago, and oh my gosh, this was kind of mixed actually, because I really had a lot of fun with it, obviously, because I'm a big fan of the Caraval series, and this is a novella that follows that one. But at the same time, there was quite a lot of this that let me down, or it didn't really give me everything I kind of wanted it to give. So I really wanted to pick up Spectacular as soon as I heard that it was being released. I really wanted to pre-order. But this book is £16.99, £17 for this minuscule skinny hardcover. And as beautiful as it is, because it is truly beautiful, I didn't want to be spending £17 on it. So when it was £10 off or 50% off or something in the Black Friday sale, I snapped it up. And honestly, I think if I'd paid the full 17, I mean, I'd be regretting that because that's a lot of money anyways, but I'd also be regretting it because the book didn't quite match up to my expectations. Now, I want to start by saying that whenever a novella is released, particularly following a series that was one that I loved, I want to give it kind of a lot of grace because I know that it's a book that's made like for the fans. So being a fan of the Caraval series, I knew that there was a pretty good chance I was going to like this, because being a massive Akatar fan, I really loved what's it called? A Court of Frost and Starlight, because that was just for the fans, you know, it was like a Christmas special. And this book is essentially the same thing. It's really unnecessary. It's so unneeded in terms of like the series as a whole. You don't need to have read this book. It doesn't add anything to the story that we don't already know. It's just like a bit of fun for the mega fans. So being a pretty big fan of the Caraval series, picked this up and was expecting just like fun, light Christmas stuff, which I did get a lot of, and I also got really beautiful illustrations. But the thing that really let me down was like this bit at the end where things get like a little bit weird. I'm not going to include spoilers, obviously, but I did want to say that when I first picked this book up, I looked on Goodreads at what people were saying, and there were lots of people, you know, loving it because they're big fans of the original trilogy, but there were also lots of people hating on it because they thought it was unneeded. And I'm like, yes, that's true, but also you're not going into it with the right expectations. But there was one review that stood out to me of someone disliking the book, not based on it being like a novella with no content. It was based on things that they found problematic within the book. I was kind of drawn to this review because the first thing they listed on it were trigger warnings, and among the trigger warnings were like drugging and kind of like, I don't know where they put like sexual assault, but something along those lines, or like drugging, kidnapping, something like unwanted in like a physical sense. And I was like, that's very strange, but also this person could just be being like a bit dramatic over something, you know, because obviously kidnapping in a fantasy book is different from kidnapping in like a contemporary romance. So I was like, okay, I'll just take it with a pinch of salt. I'll go into it anyway and see what I think. Expecting to not find those things, but actually, you know, the kidnapping we can kind of put up with a little bit because, again, fantasy vibes. Drugging also would have made more sense if the context had been different. Again, I don't want to spoil things, but there's basically this moment where our main character, Donatella, gets kidnapped by someone who she thinks is Legend. And the entire time she's under this thing, and under this like influence of this drug, that's this like drugged sugar cookie, and being like restrained, she is convinced that the person who's doing this to her is her like one true love. She plays along with it because it's like a game. However, she's not absolutely certain that the person who's doing this to her is Legend. And in that case, if someone was doing the things they did to her, like touching her inner thigh and binding her wrists, and locking her in a room with no communication and no escape, that would be obviously that's something completely different, you know? So this book is kind of relying on you know, thinking that Tala is correct, and it's really, really unclear until right at the end. I think that in some senses, that is way too much for a YA book, and that's the bit where I found this book really difficult to rate because I loved the Christmassiness of it. Like, it's so whimsical and magical. It's full of Stephanie Garber's like signature descriptions of clothes and food and things like that, but it's also kind of a little bit unsettling and in like a bit of a icky way. So I didn't really know where to stand with this book. I gave it 3 stars overall because I still think it's a fun book. I'm not disappointed by how little like plot it had or whatever. There was something like not quite right about it, particularly for who it's aimed at. Like if this was like a new adult or particularly an adult book, then I think these things would be a bit more realistic. But playing this game, which in some senses is a bit scary and in some senses almost leans a bit kind of like kinky in like a bit of a sexual way, I just thought it was like very strange, considering this book is marketed at YA, which are kids, basically kids, between, I think it's like 12 to 19 or something. It could be a bit older than that, but still like 13, 14 to 19. And that is an age that is too young. Like I was thinking about it myself and I was like, would I want my daughter to read this when she was like 14 or 13 or even 15, to be honest? And I was like, probably not. And therefore, does this serve its purpose as a YA novel? Probably not. I was really, really torn with this because the rest of this is really beautiful. I didn't tell you the plot, but it's basically Donatella trying to find a gift for Legend. And it has little cameos of other characters throughout the stories of Caraval, Legendary and Finale, but also we do, of course, have Scarlett and Julian in here. Really tiny glimpses. There was like, on top of the problematic aspects, there were definitely parts of this where I was a little bit surprised about how little we got of some things. Like there's this big party that Scarlett's planning, the Holiday Eve party, and we get like a tiny glimpse of that when it actually happens, which I thought was really like a bit of a loss. And I know this book was meant to be short and a novella and everything like that, but I do feel like the parts of the book that were developed on, or the parts of the story that were developed on, were not the parts that I personally would have wanted to have seen in like a fun little holiday novella. That's kind of on me, as well as like more general complaints. These are like personal complaints as well. So yeah, overall 3 stars. Definitely not what I was thinking. I'm not going to be unhauling this book anytime soon because I loved the original trilogy. I also think this book is beautiful. Actually, story time, this is kind of funny to say. I bought this book in store during the Black Friday sales, like I said, and I really, really wanted a specific cover design because under the dust jacket, there's like 4 or 5 different designs. I think it's 4. I really wanted the one of like the Nutcracker castle just because I love the Nutcracker and I thought that illustration was beautiful. So I was in my local Waterstones and the design I wanted was not on like the first level of books. It was literally about 40 books down into this pile. So I had to take the dust jacket off every single book, look at it and be like, nope, it's not that one, and move it on. So I was like rearranging their entire display and I had 2 employees come up to me and be like, are you sure you don't need any help? And I was like, no, so basically like there's these like different designs on the dust jacket and this one I really want. I was like, I promise I'm going to put all these books back, but like I really wanted this one and I'm really glad I got that. So yeah, really happy to own this. I really like it as like a kind of collector's piece, but at the same time I don't think the story was anything spectacular. I think there were definitely issues with it and things that I feel like the editors should have picked up on and maybe shouldn't have given the green light to all the way to the end of the point where the book was published. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Spectacular. I don't know, I haven't really been in a very festive mood. This book has been really nice to try and get me towards that. Also, the fact that this is the year that like my family has come home for Christmas, like the latest that's ever happened. I can't really get in a festive mood like by myself. I need other people who are really keen about that stuff to like get me to that place. But today my younger brother got home, my older brother got home yesterday, and we're going to be like full festive mode. So things should really kick off from here. It has been really nice doing the vlog because it's meant that I've been able to kind of lean into those festive vibes more because I've had a reason to. I mean, I always have a reason to anyways, but like I'm deliberately trying to make things festive and cozy and things like that. And that's because of the vlog. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. I will continue the vlog and I'll see you very, very soon doing some sort of festive activity. On Monday, I've got a bunch of activities planned, but I don't think I'm going to film any of that. I'll definitely film the rest of today and then Sunday as well, and I'll get this video up so you can have a nice cozy Christmas watch before the actual day. I did want to also say this is my final video before Christmas, so happy Christmas to you if you celebrate. If not, I hope you just enjoy the vibes. Happy holidays, happy new year. I feel like that's the main thing that people are focusing on if they're not all focused on Christmas. It's a beautiful holiday and I'm really excited to celebrate it, but definitely getting more into that mode, I feel like. I also do want to do a video talking about New Year reflection, so I think my next vlog I might have a little section on that, because as much as like Christmas is the focus right now, I feel like as soon as Christmas is over, everyone gets in like a New Year mode, and I definitely want 2025 to be quite a pivotal year within my life, just personally, but also with the channel and stuff. There's things I want to be doing that I've kind of started doing recently, but I kind of want to explore further into the new year, because obviously when this channel is so personal to me, as well as just like a book channel, it's about what I'm reading and what I'm doing, then it's going to morph as I change. I'm gonna be here in a second, but for now I'll leave in peace and I will let you enjoy the rest of the video. Bye bye.